Thank you very much. I'm Jim Reschovsky. I live at 105 Astor Boulevard here in Rockville. I am a first-generation American. I grew up on a farm in Pennsylvania with my parents, my siblings, and one of my grandmothers, who I loved very deeply. My grandmother was an immigrant, and her journey to the U.S. involved illegally crossing two international borders with the aid of what we now call, along the U.S.-Mexican border, coyotes. It was her son, my father, who hired these coyotes, so he was complicit in these illegal acts. This was after my grandmother attempted to obtain a visa to immigrate to the U.S., where her daughter already lived. At the time, as now, U.S. immigration policy was restrictive and shaped by nativist and discriminatory sentiments. Only at the time, it was anti-Semitism that largely shaped U.S. immigration policy. And had my grandmother not illegally crossed two international borders, she would have surely perished in a Nazi death camp. The words coming out of the Trump administration regarding Muslims and immigrants, and the president's demonization of our free press are too close to the descriptions that my family members told me about living in Austria in the 1930s during the rise of Hitler for me to sleep easily or to be complacent. The horrors that prompted my grandmother to ignore international borders and immigration laws were not necessarily any more terrible than those faced by Syrians fleeing civil war that has already killed 400,000 of their countrymen, or Central American parents whose children are threatened by endemic poverty and crime in their communities. I can only hope that more recent immigrants, regardless of what led them to the U.S. and whether they need to skirt immigration laws, are welcomed in our community, just as my family members, citizens of a country the U.S. would soon be at war with, were welcomed over 55 years ago. So I support the ordinance. We need to let our Rockville neighbors who are immigrants know that they have our support, for we hold American values of inclusiveness and tolerance as paramount.
Thank you
very much.
Thank you.